Good morning, CHEM1010 class. Um, Welcome to week 4. You will see a news item here when you log in about week 4. If you're watching this video, I'll be posting the news item as soon as I finish the video. We are taking our midterm this week. Let me remind you, you've got a calendar right here in content. It is here in the weekly updates. Again, there's going to be a week 4 here, also posted on the front. I love this view of the calendar. It helps us see what's going on. We are Monday, April 7th. Hopefully Monday or Tuesday when you're watching this, reminding you that you have a midterm exam due Tuesday evening, April 8th. It covers all the material we've covered so far. So to study for it, you're going to go back and you're going to look at all your old homeworks and quizzes. There is work that you have to show on the midterm, and you'll be penalized if you don't upload that within 15 minutes of finishing up the midterm. You guys have been doing great on the quizzes. Hopefully you've been paying attention to any notes that I write you. So this is your midterm exam. That is the first thing you're focusing on this week. And then you're jumping into Module 4. So we do have Module 4 this week. Module 4 is gases and energy, and it uses things we've learned in the previous materials, so do make sure that you're continuing to review. Typically, we will have a homework due on Thursday, but because of the short turnaround, because of the midterm, depending on when you get started on it, our homeworks are both due on Saturday. So homework 7 and 8 are due on Saturday. Your quiz is due on Sunday as usual. There's just one lab this week, Lab 6. Lab 6 is hydrated salts, and it's a little different because it has a pre-lab. So let's jump into our table of contents and start looking at this a little more closely. And actually, before I do that, let me remind you, if you go to the Quizzes tab, you can see all of your old homeworks and quizzes if you keep scrolling. And over here on the right are all of your attempts. As a student, sometimes it saves my attempts and sometimes it doesn't, so I don't have very many, but you should have attempts on all of the homeworks up to homework 6, which was due this past weekend. And if you click on this on attempt, you can go back and see your attempts and all of the correct answers. Same thing on the quizzes. I think you have to, quizzes are passed. So you have to scroll all the way to the bottom to see your attempts on the quizzes and the correct answers to help you study. If you have questions over any of those past homeworks or quizzes, a great place to get those answers is on our discussion board. Right here, you can start a thread, copy it in your subject line, put the assignment name, homework 5, question 3, and then in the text of the post, copy and paste the actual question and then ask your question. This is a very quick way to get help on that. All right, in our content, again, we are taking our midterm. There's all the information you need to know about the midterm. Please note that it is due April 8th at 11:59. If you take it after that date, it is considered late, and there are late penalties. And so make sure you hit that deadline. It's a good time to read over this information about honesty, academic integrity, any irregularities, and a reminder to upload your work into the Dropbox. And there's our Dropbox for the work. It's also linked on the footer, I think, of the test itself as well. Module 4, gases and energy. We have our typical submodules, reading and videos, homework and quiz, lab. In your reading and videos, textbook assignment, we are covering 2 chapters. So take a look at that. And it's a good idea to come back and refer to that as you're doing homework, but get started on your homework quickly. These are some videos that go along with Chapter 6. We have some videos that go along with Chapter 7 to help you understand what's going on. If you ever want to see something else in video that's not posted here, please ask. I'm happy to make a video on a topic that maybe I didn't cover in videos that you're struggling with or you want to know more about. Just ask. Our homework and quizzes, homeworks and quiz are here, homework 7 and 8. Again, pay attention to the due dates, and then your quiz is due April 13th. Yep, April 12th for the homework, both the homework assignments, and then your quiz is April 13th, and you will have to turn in work by hand to the Dropbox. All right, there's calculations for this week. Again, if you've got a question, don't hesitate to post on the discussion board. Now, the lab this week is just a little different because we do have a pre-lab. So there's some background, there's a list of possible unknowns, and there is a pre-lab. This pre-lab is calculations that we need to set up being able to solve our lab. So it's important that you get the right answer. You have one attempt at this pre-lab. It is calculations. You have to turn in your calculations. You'll be submitting it with your pre-lab, and then you'll immediately be able to see the correct answers. So if you miss some, you miss some. But you have the correct answers because you need them in order to do the experiment itself. This is one where you will be watching or looking at the images of the lab being performed and collecting the data from the images that you see there, the balance readings, as well as the visuals that you're seeing there. All right, so this is your lab. There are calculations for the lab. You will have to submit your calculations on the lab report itself. You've done that in the past, so that's similar. If you have any questions as you're going through it, both the pre-lab and the lab, there's no timer on it. So you can open it up, take a look at it, work a few problems, close it, go away, get some help, come back to it. That's the way your labs work this week. And it is only one lab this week. If we look a little bit ahead at the schedule just to kind of see where we're going, this is a good time to do it. We're halfway through. Your midterm grades will be coming out later this week after I get partial credit assigned on the midterm. I haven't done partial credit on the quiz 3 that you just finished up yesterday. I'll be working on that today, getting your partial credit assigned and checking your work. I'll do that for the midterm on Wednesday and be assigning your midterm grades. And you can see there is a midterm grade category. I don't know if it's visible. Let's see. You can see a midterm grade. You can't see it yet. I haven't turned it on yet, but there is a column for your midterm grade, and that's what I'll be giving to your advisors as your midterm grade. That'll happen later this week after you finish the exam. And then next week, Module 5, Module 6, Module 7, and then we're done. Then we'll be taking the final exam. The format of the final exam is very similar to the format of this midterm that you're taking, so it's good practice for that. All right, if you have any questions as you're going through this, please don't hesitate to reach out. You'll have a good week. Happy halfway through. About after we finish our midterm, we're essentially halfway through, or after we finish this week. It's an uneven sort of halfway through. So have a good rest of your week, you guys.